Oh hey, do you hate design trend videos and decor tips that insist you conform to what the elites deem acceptable? Well then maybe you want to see what I think should be trending. Welcome back to Laugh Cry DIY. I am Katie. I am a lover of color and maximalism, and I am a hater of most pretentious interior design things. Everybody does their interior trend predictions. They tell you what's hot, what's not, what's in, what's out. And honestly, I don't like the vibe. It makes you feel bad, it makes you feel poor, and most offensively to me, it makes me very bored because it's all the same stuff. Like I said, I am a colorful maximalist who wants people to get more out of this sad beige world. So I thought I would share with you 10 things that I would like to see come back, things I would like to see more of, things I would like to enjoy in the world. These are not all tied to trend cycles. Some are timeless, some are fun, but I hope regardless that they give you some interesting inspiration and maybe you can adapt some of the ideas however you like to whatever your taste is. So, let's dive in. Number 1, let's talk about whimsical decor. Remember fun, remember joy, remember childhood, remember delighting in anything in a dark, cruel world. Let's bring it back. I know when people talk about whimsical decor, they think of things that are very kitschy and maybe they think it's kind of tacky, but I'm talking about just fun, unexpected, cool things. For example, I love these beautiful eyeball chairs. They're very fun, they are very playful, they're kind of sculptural. I think they're still very chic, but above all, they're kind of unexpected, and if you have these all around your dining room table, people would love it. And I love things that combine form and function. And again, when we talk about whimsical or what people might think is kitschy, they often think of an object on a shelf, but something like a chair is very cool. Similarly, I love this freestanding birdcage lamp. It turns a very tactical object into a very true work of art. And I've also seen a number of people DIY versions of both a standing lamp as well as a hanging pendant. And I just love that it's so fun and playful. And I think the fun, playful nature is the key here. If you're thinking like, how do I adapt more whimsy into my space? Think of what you loved as a kid or things that really brought you a lot of delight. Think of the objects, think of the imagery. Like how can you incorporate that into your space? For example, let's say you loved dinosaurs as a kid. Why not use this Dinosauria wallpaper by House of Hackney in your powder room? I absolutely love this execution. It's kind of subtle, but it's really unexpected. And it's one of those things that somebody could even miss if they're in and out of the room washing their hands quickly. But it's so fun and unexpected, and this execution is really elegant. In fact, when I went to the House of Hackney showroom in New York, the sales girl told me they had just used that dinosaur print on the fabric of bar lounge chairs. I thought that was such a cool, again, unexpected use. I also have to shout out the pink version of the Dinosauria print, which is just beautiful, and I can totally imagine it in a lovely little vanity area. So when you don't know what to do, look for more whimsy. That brings me to number 2, which is statement mirrors. Mirrors are a very practical object to have in your home, and of course over the years we've seen some big trends, especially like the Anthropologie Primrose mirror, which is a very beautiful gold oversized mirror. And I love mirrors in any application, but a really bold statement mirror that basically functions as its own piece of standalone art is awesome. For example, check out this beautiful Art Deco version. It is so kind of sculptural, it's so dramatic, it's such an eye-catching piece on its own, and it can work in truly any space. I also like big statement mirrors that are very oversized or kind of an interesting shape. For example, this is very simple, but this oversized kind of gem cut mirror is just different enough that it just adds a little bit of visual interest in a really cool, kind of elegant way. I also like really over dramatic, exaggerated frames. Like if you look at this outrageous kind of framed situation here, it's basically the whole wall, and I think it's so cool. This also gives you a lot of creativity to DIY or dress up a frame you have by just adding more dramatic elements, whether that's to the frame, whether it's getting it cut into a different shape, things like that. And statement mirrors like this are an especially great hack when you have a space that you do not know what to do with. Maybe it's a weird dead corner, maybe it's an empty wall on a little stairway landing, maybe it's kind of just a dead spot in the room. Adding a really cool statement mirror is like, boom, instantly makes it a moment. And maybe add a little freestanding plant next to it just to add a little bit more life, you know? I'm just saying, mirrors make me happy, they will make you happy too. Moving on to number 3, which is unexpected animal print. I love turning to nature for inspiration for decor, from animals to plants to patterns and textures. But I especially love animal print, and I consider it a neutral personally. But I really love to see unexpected animal prints used in different ways. Beyond your leopard print, your zebra print, your tiger print, what about cool things like a giraffe print? This is an oversized scale piece of art, but it is just a close-up of a giraffe pattern. And it's so oversized, you might not even recognize that that's the pattern. It almost looks like a cool piece of like modern abstract art. And if you're somebody who likes more neutral prints or minimalism, doing something like that extreme close-up that's kind of unexpected and you might not actually realize what it is a really clever idea to bring some personality to the space. I also love kind of neutral, smaller prints that are a little unexpected. For example, this bench right here features a Dalmatian print, which is a very simple, clean black and white pattern. It has a smaller scale, which makes it more subtle. And again, it's not a pattern you would think to use, but I think it looks so great in this execution. I've also seen it used on little like footstools. I've seen it used as headboards. I just think there's so many applications. And again, it's just a little more unexpected than like a classic leopard or something. Now, if you're feeling really wild and crazy, you can also go with something like this. I've actually talked about this on the channel before, but this is a great antelope print carpet. It's actually carpet tiles. And it comes in a bunch of different colors like this indigo, a classic brown. I think it's so cool and unexpected. And I actually don't think a lot of people would be able to identify what the pattern is. They would just think it's a cool rug. So I like ways to incorporate animal print that are both like in your face and also kind of subtle, that don't feel maybe like a full like Vegas leopard lounge, even though that would make my heart happy. Moving on to more things that make me happy, colorful bathroom tile. I completely understand why the world has been taken over by just simple white subway tile. Totally get it, but my heart lies in things like vintage 20s and 30s tiled bathrooms that feature just outrageously gorgeous candy colors, really beautiful patterns. It's totally immersive, it's totally dramatic. So I really just want to see more colorful tiles in the world. If you're lucky enough to have a vintage bathroom, great. If not, these are some other cool executions I really like. For example, I love how they did this multicolored stripe pattern that is totally immersive and goes floor to ceiling through the bathtub. Similarly, I love how they used the pink and green tiles in this bathroom. I also even love the different orientation on the floor just to add a little different visual interest. I love how they used these pink and white tiles to create these stripes. I think it's a beautiful way to use colored tiles in a very kind of crisp, clean way. By the way, if you're a renter or somebody who has a plain white bathroom and wants to experiment with this, you can get peel and stick tile stickers that go over it, and you can actually get colored ones and kind of create your own color blocking, stripes, checkers, diamond pattern, whatever, to kind of make it a little more graphic and not have to actually commit to changing all of your tile. So that's a much easier, more budget-friendly way to achieve this. Next, we are moving from the bathroom down to the floor with one of my favorite things, which is maximalist rugs. All of the pictures I'm gonna show you are from Wendy Morrison, who is the queen of these outrageous handmade works of art. Her rugs are incredibly expensive and incredibly beautiful, but I hope they give you inspiration for the ways rugs can transform a space. So here are some of my favorites. I love this beautiful and bright green little runner added to this vanity area. It's a very small little pop-up pattern that can add a lot of joy to a very small space. Similarly, we have this beautiful little chinoiserie moment. These rugs are so beautiful because they look like paintings on the floor. And if you're a renter and you're not able to paint, or you don't know what to do, or you're indecisive, just add the color and pattern to the floor. It's so easy, it's so simple, it's so dramatic, and it makes such a big moment the minute you step into the room. And if you're a kind of pattern clashing girl like me who just wants more and more and more, a rug can also help you achieve that. Like, I love this black floral rug. It's definitely an intense mix of patterns and it's not for everybody, but because it's dark, it also kind of helps ground it, and I really like that. I also think if you're someone who's overwhelmed or doesn't want to maybe make your whole living room floor, do it in an unexpected area. Like, I like how they used this rug in the entryway. It would kind of be a sort of boring pass-through area if it didn't have that little fun pop, but it does add some nice little delight. Now, speaking of delight, there is one thing that is often overlooked in homes, and that is lighting. And so I really want to see more dramatic lamps and lampshades. Again, you can really combine form and function here, and there's no reason not to. Look at these cool lamps. I love this super sculptural freestanding lamp. We have a nice pattern, it has a cool silhouette, even the lampshade is interesting. And again, if you have a very boring corner or something you don't know what to do with, adding something like that makes it its own freestanding piece of art that looks really neat. Here's another great example. I love this rich mustard yellow. It's velvet and it has fringe, so it adds a lot of nice texture. Here's another great example of playing with the scale and the pattern. I think that lamp is a very unexpected moment amongst this little mural, but it totally works. Now, of course, I am very partial to a very outrageously maximalist, dramatic Victorian lampshade. And if you don't know her, you have to check out Ace of Shades on Instagram. She makes outrageously beautiful handmade Victorian style lamps. And you can totally DIY a lot of these versions. You can thrift, you can upcycle. It's actually a great way to like reimagine maybe the IKEA lamp you've had since college, or that one you picked up on the side of the road. From painting to upholstering to switching out the lampshade, there's just so many options. So again, you can customize in any way you want, but again, I think especially for freestanding lamps that are kind of in a corner or by a chair, you can really pizzazz them up in whatever way you want. Now, while we're on the subject of lighting, let's talk about my next thing, which is bringing candelabras back. And I'm not talking candle holders, I'm talking candelabras. Using taper candles is so beautiful, it's so calming, it's so dramatic. And if you don't have a fireplace or you don't have a lot of good lighting, just light a candelabra in the corner, put one in your bathroom, light it while you have a bath. It is just such a beautiful, dramatic, really overlooked way to add beautiful ambiance to a space. And you don't have to do like Phantom of the Opera style candelabras. You can do different silhouettes, you can have fun with it. For example, I love this. If you are more of a vintage antique person, you can go and get the most beautiful, stunning silver candelabra you can imagine. I love this execution where they did also put colored candles in it to make it a little bit more fun. This is a fun, colorful twist on a very antique style. I love the pink color. I love pairing it with the neon pink candles. It's very fun, it's very whimsical, and it would look great on your corner nightstand. I also love this whimsical version with this sculpture of a bunch of little tiny hands. Again, I love it with the colored candles. You could do it with plain white candles, and honestly, people might not even notice that it is a bunch of little hands because it's kind of a cool piece on its own, but I just think it's a really cool version. And of course, there are a lot of minimalist, kind of more simple versions. But again, I think they're a very great piece of decor to fill a kind of dead space. If you just keep it on your dining room table, it already looks like a really inviting space. If you put it on a little console table, pair it next to a mirror, again, you get double the candlelight if you light it. It's a big hack I love on this channel. So I'm just saying, more candelabras, more fun, more glamour, more fire. They're also very sexy. And speaking of sexy, let's take it to the bedroom, where I want to see more patterned bedding. I feel like the world has become brainwashed to think that a white duvet is the only acceptable type of bedding, and it's just not true, but it's what they want you to believe. Let's add some fun, let's add some personality, let's add some different dimension and texture. And I'm talking everything from sheets to bedspread to pillows. For example, I love this major pattern mixing moment. We have multiple colors, we have stripes, we have botanical prints, we have this smaller geometric print. And I love the juxtaposition of this playfulness against that traditional dark paneling behind it. We also see the same kind of idea here in a kind of more fun, relaxed way. We have this citrus seersucker stripe pattern. We have a pop of pink. We have this cute little floral bedspread and pillow. You also don't have to go as extreme with the pattern mixing. Like, I love this execution, which just shows these beautiful little floral sheets paired with this rich plum duvet. I think it's very sexy to have that little pop of pattern showing out. It's almost like having like a little like undergarment peek out that's like pattern. You want to see more, you want to get in those sheets. I'm not trying to be creepy, I'm just saying it's really fun and it really makes me happy to see. Also, just swapping the sheets is a budget-friendly way to get that little pattern in without having to like redo the whole room. And one thing I like about this is that if you're kind of just using complementary or like fun contrasting colors, you can kind of throw anything together and it just works. You just have to think of different scales, sizes, and kind of contrast within the pattern. So I think it's a really fun way to play. Also, when you have to change out your sheets, I don't know about you, but I feel like a lot of people have like their nice sheets and then the like laundry day sheets they throw in that don't match. But if you just get a bunch of sheets in a bunch of similar color family, pattern, whatever, like whatever you mix and match, it's gonna be great. But if you're overwhelmed by all the pattern clashing of the bedding or you don't know how to curate that, just add a little bit of subtle pattern on the headboard. For example, you can do a very, very minimal pattern like this that's still very neutral, but just adds just enough pattern to make it interesting. You can also consider the shape and silhouette, but really it's all about the pattern. For example, I love these mint headboards with this really fun botanical print. They almost look like their own kind of hand-painted moment, and it makes it really pretty, especially contrasted with the clean white duvets. See, I'm not anti-white duvet, I'm just very pro-color. However, if you are somebody who's worried about choosing a pattern and sticking to one and then being really stuck by that, do a pattern that has a lot of color in it. For example, I really love this floral headboard right here. It's really pretty. Obviously, I love the silhouette, but the pattern is so great because you have so much flexibility about what colors you can pair it with. So again, if you're worried about feeling limited, get something with every color in it and you're gonna be fine. And you could do anything according to your style. Stripes, checkers, floral, you could do a beautiful toile, like whatever you want. That said, you could also consider going even more dramatic, even more bold, and doing a full upholstered bed in a pattern like this. I think this is so cozy, so chic. Again, it creates a great frame for more neutral bedding if you prefer that. And it's a statement piece that kind of gets you off the hook for having to decorate the rest of the room. Like, choose a beautiful wall color, throw a dramatic pattern bed in there, and you've pretty much done all your work. But if that feels overwhelming to you, let's wrap up with something that I would like to see more in every space, in practically every room, and that is cute, fun ottoman/footstools. You can put them in your living room, you can tuck them under console tables, you can line them up in your hallway to create a kind of faux bench. It's a very flexible piece of furniture. I love this little hourglass shape upholstered footstool. It has a fun little pop of pattern. I like the coziness of the fabric texture. That silhouette is really nice and can work anywhere. And personally, just because my cat loves hers, I always prefer an ottoman over an actual cat bed because they're probably gonna hop up and sleep on it anyways. But I think this is a great example here of this cute floral little stacked donut ottoman. Again, that would be great in your living room. It would be a great stool for your little vanity area. Here's another great example of these kind of toadstool shaped ottomans. These would be great in an apartment. They'd be great around a coffee table. They'd be great in a kid's room. They'd be great in your hallway. They'd be great everywhere. I also loved how they used this little pair in a hallway. Again, think of these instead of a bench, or again, tucked under a console table. Again, I really love them because they're so little and petite and you can move them around the house wherever you need. And they are such a great thing to DIY, whether you are upcycling, painting, reupholstering, or creating something new. Fun ottomans will make your house better. So, those are things I want to see more of in the world. They bring me joy. I hope they bring you joy too. Honestly, it's your house. Do what you want. Who cares? But if you enjoyed this, please like, please subscribe. We're always trying to grow the channel. I'm always trying to bring you fun, realistic, budget-friendly ways to make your home the place you want it to be. And if you enjoyed this video, I will link my playlist below of more fun decor roundup ideas. Again, all just to inspire you. You can also sign up for my newsletter below where I send out a monthly little roundup of things like this that are DIYs to try, decor, cool interiors, just a fun little hit right in your inbox. Because we could all use more fun in our sad and dark lives. What a way to end the video. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.